Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at the 1984 United States quarter dollar coins. And we have a bunch of them here. We have some circulated here and we have some uncirculated here. And we're going to talk about the difference both in what they're made of and in the price of them, especially the current price. So let's just start with the circulated ones here. And when we look at circulated coins in 1984, there were only two mints that circulated coins, and that was the Denver Mint, which is right here, and the Philadelphia Mint, which is right here. D for Denver, P for Philadelphia. You see it says Liberty at the top, 1984 at the bottom, and in the center is George Washington, the United States first president, facing to the left. Under his chin it says, "In God We Trust." And you can see that these get kind of beat up over time. And you can also see a little bit of a dent there and a little bit of a dent there. Let's take a look at that. This is something that actually happens in the post-mint process. And so when they put the mint marks on, they actually put the mint marks on with this rod, which they bang down on top of the coin. And you can see it leaves a little bit of an indentation there. Now, this is a P. You'll have to kind of take our word, and you can kind of see that it is. But they do get, even the mint marks get kind of worn down and messed up. And this one is a D, and you can see how the D kind of gets flattened. We'll look at the uncirculated mint marks in a second, and you'll see that they are quite different. You see there's some brown on here, and that's the copper core of these coins. The outside is a copper nickel blend. The inside is a copper. If we flip it to the back side of both of these has the same eagle on it. Eagle in the center says United States of America at the top. E pluribus unum here. Quarter dollar here. And down here we see that the eagle's holding a sheaf of feathers. Arrowed feathers of arrows with feathers in the arrow end on them over a sprig of olive, or an olive branch. Olive for peace, eagle and the arrows for war. If we tip it up, we can see that this rim itself is actually quite worn. And these coins, PCGS estimates that there's still probably 200 million or so of each of these coins out there. So these are the kind of coins that if you're trying to collect every year and you're trying to collect circulated coins, you should be able to find these most days of the week. Certainly these are the kind that you can keep a lookout for. If there's 400 million of them around, these in this condition are worth 25 cents. That's it. If you got one of these in your change, you would just turn around and spend it again unless you didn't have it, because there's no reason to keep these for the value. The only value is if you don't have the 1984 P or the D, or if you want to save 25 cents worth of coins. Now, let's look at some other coins, however, and these coins are quite different in value. And we'll start with this one here. You see that this is a Washington, a little bit of a thing on there, and let's see, just blow on it sometimes and it'll blow right off. So sometimes you get little things on there from the packaging. Sometimes you just get little stuff on there that was actually in there since it left the mint. The top of this, it says Liberty, of course, in God We Trust, and we can really read that now, right? It's not like this one here where you can't even tell that there's an I there. You can see all the letters very, very clearly. You can see the P very clearly. You can see the ponytail, and look at this little kind of two forked ends down here. That's something that's really hard to see in a used coin. You can see a little bit of it there. There's something else that's hard to see in a used coin, but we can see very well in here. And right down, right above the 4 in this coin is a J and an F right there for John Flanagan, who's the engraver of this coin. Again, this coin is a copper nickel blend. You can see it's much more shiny. And then when we get to the back, we see that this coin has clearly not been circulated. This came from an uncirculated mint set. In 1984, they made 1.8 million uncirculated mint sets, and this is one of them. And just look how clear this is. You can obviously tell these an arrow. You can see the ribbon here that ties it. You can see the different leg feathers down here. Pretty darn good looking coin. Let's just say that this rises to the level of an MS-65, which is probably a little bit under that, but say it did. This coin would be worth $13 or $14 at an MS-65 level. So these coins, even though they're uncirculated and come in uncirculated mint sets, could be worth quite a bit of money. And there's the P for Philadelphia. Again, in Philadelphia in 1984, they made $676.5 million. At Denver, this is the Denver one, and that would count these coins because these are uncirculated mint set coins. At the Denver Mint, they made $546.5 million. And then there's one other mint that we have not talked about. When we see this one, you'll see that it just looks different. You can tell that this is not, see how this is shiny here, and this is not the kind of satin finish that comes on a proof coin. And that's because when we look way over to the side, we see that there's an S there. And the S, of course, is for the San Francisco Mint. And in 1984, the San Francisco Mint produced 3,065,110 of these. And this coin, even though it's in incredible shape, and we'll tip it up on its edge, they did not make any silver ones in 1984, except they did make a prestige Olympic set. With an Olympic dollar, because 1984 was an Olympic year. So there is this, what they call a prestige set, which back then sold for $59 and now sells for around $30. So it's not a highly valuable set. So no silver in here. So this coin is worth about $3. This one here may be worth as much as $8 to $10, even with the little blemishes. And this one here may be worth up to $13 to $14. So these, even though these are uncirculated mint sets, and the uncirculated mint sets don't cost that much, or didn't back then. They cost $7, and the current value is about $5. But if you can get a good quarter out like this one, you may be able to make all of that back just by selling the quarter if you can get it rated at an MS-65 or above. All right, and so this one might be worth $13. And this one, even though it's in the special proof set, is probably only worth about $3 because, of course, they made 3 million of those in the proof sets. All right, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comment section.